guess that means I'm live. Okay, sweet. How's it going, everyone? My name is Jaxler, and I am bringing you some hot Stuart Little 2 gameplay in between the CDI block, or the block of 2 CDI games this afternoon. So this is Stuart Little 3, big photo adventure. If you caught last year's Big Bat Game-a-thon, you might have caught a certain Stuart Little 2 for the PS1. This is made by the same developers, so if you found that run really goofy, really interesting, you'll probably really enjoy this run too. This is an any percent run. I'll explain what the requirements are to complete a playthrough of this game, but time is going to start when I start continue without saving here. So let's get this party started in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so Stuart Little 3 Big Photo Adventure is a 3D exploration collect-a-thon released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2 by British developers Magenta Software. Like I mentioned earlier, this was made by the same people who made Stuart Little 2 on the PS1. So you already kind of know their calling card is strange and unusual 3D platforming experiences. This one takes a little bit of a different direction as far as collect-a-thons go. The basic lore behind this game, let's be very clear, the Stuart lore is very important. The lore behind this game is that George, Stuart's older brother, we accidentally ruined his photo album for a school project, and we need to go retake all the photos that were a part of that and recreate them in exact detail so that he can get an A on his project. And so in order to do that, in order to successfully turn it in and get a passing grade, we need to get 6 photos from each of these 5 levels. So this is the first level, the garden. You're gonna hear me bring this up a lot, but I think it's pretty incredible the amount of real estate that the Little family happens to have. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick little strat right here to stack some cutscenes on top of each other. Hit the button, and then you'll see I hit the switch over there in the back at the same time. And then we'll get our second photo here. So the first photo was just kind of an introductory photo, learn how to move the camera.
I did it!
But in terms of the rest of gameplay, the photos are the big MacGuffins of this game. So think of like the stars from Super Mario 64. But rather than having to get like a set total amount over the course of the game, you just need the 6 fastest photos in each level to just go from level to level. And then once you get 6 photos in the final level, that counts as beating the run. Now, getting the photos is actually a 2-step process. The first step is you actually have to find the correct location and angle to take the photo at. And then you also have to have enough charge in your camera in order to be able to take the photo. Because we use like a kind of an old school camera for all these photos because we're really trying to get George that A+ grade on this assignment. So we have to run around the environment and collect all these flash orbs until we fill up that meter in the top right corner of the screen. And then that way, once we fill it all the way around one cycle, we get another charge, which allows us to take the next photo. So it's all kind of routed out such that there's a lot of like doubling back that you would normally have to do, but we try to route out where we get our flash orbs so that we don't have to double back as much. So mashing triangle through here, just get the cutscenes because Snowbell the cat is slow to talk to. You don't want to mash too fast because sometimes it can cause the game to soft lock. And then right here, we're going to pick up this buggy. Now, this buggy is going to let us go super duper fast, and George is going to honk at me. Whether or not George honks at you is dependent on a random cycle. And then all of those flash orbs that we revealed earlier with the fire hose, we run through them with this buggy. The buggy is much faster than our on-foot movement. And additionally, we also need this buggy to take our next photo. So I'm going to park the buggy right here, and then I'm going to collect a couple of flash orbs, and then we're going to take a picture of Mr. Little's orchid display here. Yeah, so there's like a whole lot of weird and interesting concepts going on in this game. I wouldn't necessarily call this a bad game per se. It's a very strange game, and it looks, you know, it looks like a pretty normal game, but it controls a little strangely. We'll get into a little bit of the control stuff. you're going to see me use these different costumes as well to interact with the environment in different ways. This power-up right here gives us a bow and arrow so we can shoot levers and switches and stuff. And then after we successfully solve one of those puzzles, you'll see that Stuart kind of does like that aha like animation. And that's slow, and normally you don't have control over Stuart during that. So I actually cancel the animation part of the way through by pressing the right shoulder button in order to get on my skateboard, which I've been using already for movement. But it also lets us cancel out of some animations a little bit faster. So we get all of those flash orbs out of there, and then we drive up this ramp, and then George is going to take a photo for us. Now, that's what's called a stunt photo. There's usually like one of them per level, and they require that you use a specific vehicle to replicate the photo properly. And as a result, that's why we picked up the 4x4 buggy, is because we needed this specific vehicle in the first place, and because it happened to be out and about in the game world, it's a little bit faster than having to go to the garage. Got a good park right there, and then we hit the button for this fountain like very start of the level.
Water everywhere.
And now we're done with the first level, the garden. Sweet.
Hooray!
I'm also gonna notice that Stuart has some pretty great voice lines. They're not as bewildering as they are in Stuart Little 2 on the PS1. Oh, darn it, I mashed the wrong button. So I'm gonna get penalized for about 10 seconds here. I gotta talk to Snowball, because, again, once you get all the requisite photos, once you get 6, you can move on to the next level. And like the photo count doesn't stack, so you just need 6 from each location. It's not like a Super Mario thing where you can get a bunch of extra stars in an early level, so you can skip some content later on. We have to have a minimum of 6 photos from each level, so that's kind of what comes into play with a lot of levels. In every level, there's pretty much... Did I soft lock? Shoot. Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, that's fine. We're only 6 minutes into the run. So, like I said, sometimes if you mash triangle too fast, the game will soft lock. And, yeah. So, while I said that this game might appear to be good, I also don't have a save for this early on because it's like 6 minutes into the level. So we're just gonna start over. Yeah, good game. Oh gosh. Well, this is what I get. Well, you got to hear the PS2 launch sound at the very least, so yeah, like I said, this might appear to be a good game, but you can play the game too fast sometimes. So for the sake of making myself feel better, I'm gonna restart the timer. Because I basically have to go back to the very start of the run now, because my other safety files are all on the other levels, because I never crashed on that level. But yeah, you got to see the first 5 minutes, so you know what, we'll just pretend that never happened. Okay, so this is Stuart Little 3 Big Photo Adventure for the Sony PlayStation 2. It was released in 2005 by the legendary developer Magenta Soft. They were also responsible for Stuart Little 2, so if you caught the previous Big Bad Game-a-thon in 2020, you saw the any % run of that. And so, this is by the same devs. So, as you might expect, it's a little bit weird, a little bit clunky, and a little bit broken. So, the objective of this game is centered around taking photos. So this is a 3D collectathon type game, similar to like a Super Mario 64 or a Banjo-Kazooie. But instead of collecting like stars or jiggies or something like that, we collect photos. So the lore behind the game is that George had this photo album he was working on for a school project. Oh, I forgot to neutralize the dead zone on my analog stick before this run started. There we go. I usually do that before these things happen, but someone had to restart their PS2, TM. Okay, so I'm gonna line up right here for a arrow shot. Gotta make sure I do this right so I don't soft lock. Good. So we basically hit 2 cutscenes at the same time so that they play over each other. So that way we save a couple of seconds on animation. There we go. So, gameplay flow. So, in order to beat the game, we need to grab 6 photos from each level. And it's not like in a like a Super Mario 64 style game where you can get extra collectibles in a previous level so that you can skip later challenges if you choose to do so. The game requires that you get a minimum of 6 photos from every level, regardless. So it's the fastest 6 photos from each level. So what I'm going to be doing right here is watering these flowers, which are going to reveal more of these flash orbs. Now, you've seen a little bit of it already, but there's 2 primary requirements in order to be able to take a photo. You have to find the location in which the original photo you ruined was taken, so that you can recreate it properly. The other thing you have to do is you have to charge up your camera flash so that you can actually take the photo. And so there are these flash orbs that are hidden all around the world that kind of act as our sort of secondary collectible. And we need to route around properly to make sure that we have enough of these flash orbs by the time that we get to each of our photos. So I accidentally missed a couple of them here, so I'm going to climb up back the sledge, and then we'll get this photo right here. We had to go up that path right there in order to turn on the hose to create a rainbow, so that we could take a photo of a rainbow. So Stuart's got some really sick strats with his camera movement, I guess. I don't know. This game is very bewildering, for lack of a better term. So right here, there's going to be this sort of 4x4 buggy that we're going to take. There's a lot of vehicle-based movement in this game. We won't see it too much in this level outside of this buggy. But all of those flash orbs that we picked up earlier, we're going to wrap around and grab with the buggy because it's much faster using this than to grab it on foot. We also need this vehicle in just a moment in order, it's required for one of the photos. So we just grab it now and then get all these I want to back up a little bit because we're going to do a stunt jump off of this ramp in just a tad. So I'm going to park it right there. I might still be too close to the ramp, but we'll see. Might get to see an extra stunt ramp if I'm unlucky and y'all are lucky. And we're going to just climb up this ladder. We have a little bit of extra overflow flash orbs because we have 2 photos in this greenhouse area that we need to take. So we have to make sure that we have enough flash orbs beforehand so that we don't show up at the photo location and then we just can't take it. Alright, so we got that photo right there. And then you're going to see the game tries to like hint at you to take certain photos next. One of those photos is mini golf. Each level in this game, there's 5 levels, has a 9-hole course of mini golf, I believe. And the mini golf is really slow, so we're not going to be using the mini golf photos over the course of this run. But if you love mini golf for whatever reason, you would really enjoy the 100% speedrun of this game because you have to do all the mini golf in that. So for the on-foot movement, you're seeing me use a lot of the skateboard. The skateboard, I gotta retake the photo. So these ramps are really buggy. If you don't hit them the right way, it doesn't put you in the cutscene for the photo like that. So I had to wrap around there just a tad, but we're all good.
That's another photo done.
Excuse me. So that photo with the stunt requires a specific vehicle for each one. That one required the buggy, so again, that's why we set up the vehicle in the house over there, or the greenhouse. I was blinking on my words for a moment. English. There we go. And then we just grab this last photo right here, and then we got the last photo for the levels.
Water everywhere.
So yeah, like previously mentioned, you only need 6 photos. There's 10 per level, so there's a bit of flexibility compared to what you would do casually as to which photos you can get. So this time I'm gonna press X so that I don't stay in the. Oh, that was actually a gold too. Nice job, me. And then we're not gonna mash triangle this time. Just press it. Yeah, it's another really weird and bizarre thing about this game. This game might seem like it's like it actually looks fairly competent and fairly like actually decent. But things like mashing the triangle button too hard and skipping cutscenes too aggressively will just cause the game to lock up. There are other things, like if you get certain animations to overlap, Stuart will just like start like scratching his chin infinitely. There's a lot of, like, those are really bad things that I don't want to have happen. So I know where all of those little breaks are. Yeah, we're good to go here. Into the second level, Forest. It's just called Forest, even though this is probably Central Park. we're going to start off by watering these flowers so we can get the flash orbs, and then we'll run over them with our skateboard. So you've seen a little bit of it already, but the skateboard is a really powerful tool when we're on foot, because we can go in and out of the skateboard at will, and it can actually cancel some animations as well. So after solving certain puzzles, Stuart does like a hoorah animation, for lack of a better term. And if you use your skateboard during this animation, it will actually cancel it early and let you start moving forward. Additionally, the skateboard is just way faster than moving on foot. So we're gonna try to use the skateboard whenever possible, although it turns in kind of wide angles, so you have to be kind of careful with where you use it. It's not just as simple as skate to win, although there is a lot of Tony Hawk-based movement in this run, which you wouldn't expect from a video game called Stuart Little 3 Big Photo Adventure, but this is the this is the world we live in. Alright, so I'm gonna hit that balloon right there. I'm not gonna collect all the flash orbs from it. We need to head back in this direction later anyway for a stunt photo, so we're just gonna pick it back up later with a vehicle. Alright, so we're gonna get these flowers, and then after watering these flowers, it starts to become a lot more about movement, and you'll get to kind of see one of the cooler mechanics of this game with the skateboard. But we got more flowers to water because they're just a really efficient way of getting these yellow flash orbs. So the way the flash orb system works is there's a set amount in the world, but the yellow flash orbs count for way more than like the smaller blue ones do. If you get enough of the smaller blue ones, they'll add up to a yellow flash orb. As you saw, it kind of lit up and it was like, yay, you got enough of these. But yeah, your skateboard turns into a parasail as soon as you touch water, which I think is actually pretty rad. But you want to go straight into the hovercraft here because it is pretty much almost every vehicle except for like the blimp is faster than skateboarding. And the hovercraft has the cool property of being able to transition from land to water seamlessly. And it's a little bit tricky to control. As you can see, oh, I need to grab those flash orbs. As you can see, it very much likes to spin out of control. And it's also really annoying to park because you have to be pretty much at a standstill. And getting the hovercraft to be in a standstill is a bit of a chore sometimes. So, all right, there we go. So we're coming up here to help this little girl with the kite that she got stuck in the tree right here. So we just go ahead and grab a helicopter that just happens to be chilling out. And that will help the girl out. So now we can take a photo of her flying her kite, which is required for the next picture in the photo album. Something we also did as we made our way to the helicopter is I actually rammed the hovercraft into the helicopter so it would come to not only would it come to a faster stop, but it also puts it in the correct position so that it's turned the correct way so I can just like floor the acceleration and head straight to the next objective. Yeah, always make sure your vehicle's at a complete stop first, otherwise the game will yell at you. And it's a big safety hazard, you know? Alright, so we're gonna get back in the hovercraft, and then we're gonna go hang out with this this park ranger friend. We want to take his photo, but he's a little bit busy observing the local weasel infestation. Apparently, Stuarts and weasels don't get along super well. So,
sure.
This mission is very much like a Simpsons hit and run mission where we have to like crash into this car multiple times to reduce its health. But it can blow up in your face pretty bad. It's very easy to gain air like that. And you actually want to make sure that the weasels here go along their intended path. If they get stuck on something, you can still damage them, but it does a lot less damage over time for some reason. You can't really exploit it like you would in some other speed games with similar types of missions. So we're just gonna follow loose behind. Oh, that's not good. Am I stuck? Okay, this is just gonna be slow. That's okay. As long as I didn't get the car stuck there, that would have been slow. Yeah, one more hit and we're good to go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Great voice line right here.
Who likes the forest anyway? See you later, mouse boy.
The voice acting in this game is just choice, especially with some of the NPCs that we're going to be taking photos of here. This guy has a great voice line.
Okay, smile, Mr. Park Ranger.
Mr. Park Ranger.
Well, I can now.
Thanks to you. That was a bit of an early split. We're fine.
Great.
So we're gonna be going into a bit of a tricky movement segment here. I'm gonna pop a balloon real quick just to get some extra flash orbs, but then we're gonna be put right next to the roadster car that we just used for the mission, and it drives very fast, but it is very difficult to handle. Its turning is pretty poor. So I'm gonna try to do my best to keep as much of my speed as possible through here, but this is really tricky. So I'm gonna actually take a little bit of a moment to focus here. So now I start the brakes. And I can leave that little blue flash orb behind because it really doesn't add up to much. Yeah, I really don't want to miss those flash orbs. There we go. Okay, good course correction. And then we crash it right into the wall right there. Give Stuart whiplash so that we can immediately park the car. And then we can hit the lock. And then I do a kickflip up the ledge. Generally speaking, you want to avoid jumping whenever possible because your airspeed is a lot slower than your grounded speed. So as a result, we try to shorten our jumps as much as possible. Going to pop 2 balloons from a distance and then start moving while the arrow's in its travel distance so that we can kind of optimize, because we would be waiting on the orbs to drop anyway. So we just use that to go get a couple of extra flash orbs.
Yay!
Yay! But yeah, this little hidden area over here has a lot of really high value flash orbs, or just high quantity of flash orbs, as well as a photo op that has no like base requirement for it. We just show up and take the picture, which is really, really easy to route in. And I cancel out of that animation by hopping on the skateboard. And sometimes when I'm doing the skateboard movement, you'll see me actually hop off the skateboard so I can turn Stuart. Because it's kind of hard to turn Stuart on a dime when he's on the skateboard, so it's actually faster in some instances to hop off the skateboard, adjust your angle, and then continue forward with a push. Great voice line right here as well.
I always smile when I'm cooking.
I always smile when I'm cooking. Yeah, he's that guy. I don't even know if he has a name, but he loves to grill. You know. Very admirable. But yeah, the stay on the ground rule also applies to skateboard. As you see, like right there, after I start to fall off, I start to lose speed. So what I'm generally trying to do is like when I jump, I try to keep my height as low as possible, or reduce the amount of time that I'm falling, so that I can maintain more speed. So right here, I'm gonna do a kickflip into this sewer pipe instead of a jump, so that I have less height going in and maintain more of the speed. These little cave sections where you have to pull out the flashlight, you can't normally use your skateboard, but I know where the trigger is for it to no longer be dark enough, and then I cancel it right before the spring. If you skateboard into a spring, you just kind of bounce right off of it and go in the opposite direction, so I had to cancel my skateboard movement early so that I don't accidentally bump. Now our next photo objective is to go help out that jester that's in the middle of the gazebo right there. His lucky charm got stolen by some birds, so we're gonna go pick it up for him. There he is. I forget what his name is. It's like, Jeff? I don't remember. It's like, he's gonna have a very strong accent, and his name does not match up with this accent. That's all I know.
Smile!
Listen it.
Okay, Stuart.
Oh, it's such a good voice line.
Hooray!
Hooray! All right, and we got 2 more photos that we need to do here. So the first one we're gonna go take care of is the stunt. And the stunt we could have technically done right at the start of the level, but we don't, with the way that the flash orb routing works in this level, it's more optimal to go do it later. So I go shoot the arrow right there, and then while it's in flight, I start doing my skateboard movement. Starting a skateboard movement downhill actually gives you a little bit of boost in speed from gravity. So that's something I try to set up there as well. And then we're gonna take this road racer. I don't know what actually this vehicle is called, because we almost never use it because it's cumbersome. We're gonna take it off the ramp, through the tire, and that's our next photo. Nice.
That's another photo.
That's another photo. Thank you, George. I was totally not aware. All right, and then we got one more photo, and then we're done with the second level here, which is the forest. So, yeah, it's so weird to me that this level is just called Forest and not, like, you know, Park or Central Park. No, it's just the Forest. Very clearly Forest. All right, so now we're gonna go talk to our good friend RC, who's gonna let us do a hovercraft race.
3, 2.
At the start here, I'm gonna try to wiggle out of the way here so I can gain a little extra speed. It's a little bit random whether you actually get enough speed to get out of there. But the hovercraft is kind of an interesting vehicle to control. Basically, you're constantly getting pushed from whichever direction the fan is rotated. So it's like your acceleration is relative to the rotation of the vehicle, which can be a little off-putting if you're more used to controlling vehicles with things like tires and such.
Too good.
So as a result, the way that I go about my turns is a little bit different. The other thing, and this applies to all vehicles in the game, is that you can honk every vehicle. But the best part about honking the vehicles is you can hold down the honk button indefinitely. So now, for the rest of this race, I can just annoy all of y'all on stream, and you literally cannot do anything to stop me. I'm actually going to let go of it because I let go of the acceleration in order to make some of the turns easier, and it's really hard to hold circle while letting go of X on the acceleration. But now I can honk for a little bit longer. This isn't even the most annoying honk, by the way. There's more annoying honks going on. Do not test me. All right, fair enough.
That was great.
All right, that was great. All right, so we've unlocked the ability to take the photo, but we don't quite have all the flash orbs. Oh, did I get all those? Oh, that was a really cool strat. I've actually never done that bank before, for lack of a better term. Gonna pick up the last couple of flash orbs here, and then we get to go take the photo with RC for completing the race. So, yeah. So with all of these dialogue prompts, I actually have to be a bit careful. So there's a bird character in this game. You'll see her in the next level, named Margalo.
Just coming, RC.
And she has a bunch of these tutorial dialogue prompts with the circle button. And the circle button is also often the button that you want to use in order to use like your costume power-ups and stuff. And as a result, I have to be very careful with spacing with dialogue stuff so I don't accidentally invoke the wrath of Margalo. Otherwise, I lose 5 seconds and feel like a bad person. Alright, now this run is relatively well, not counting the soft locks that are all across this game. But this level has a really cool glitch in it that we're going to do right at the start called a skew glitch.
Let's see which photo.
And normally what's supposed to happen is we have to go into a sewer drain to get the car keys for a character named Mr. Kirby. But I like to call him Mr. Bergie because Bergie is cute. And you're normally supposed to hit a button to suck some water up out of the sewer so that you can progress. But I'm going to be doing a very interesting glitch to skip that whole sequence. So you'll know when I get it. It'll be very visually apparent when I've activated the glitch properly. But this will take me a couple of tries. It's pretty precise. No, not quite. Come on, Stuart, you can do it. There we go. Okay, so you're going to see that Stuart is tilted and is kind of walking in the wrong angle. So this is the first part of the glitch. So basically by doing a series of inputs, I've confused what the game considers to be up, down, left, and right. And if I start, if I slide on this, I will start spinning out of control. Like so. And then if I tap a direction, it will clip me through the floor and get me straight to the pair of keys. And so now he can open up his newsstand. And there we go. That was actually really clean. That skip can be really scary. And if you do it incorrectly, so when you set up that skip and that glitch, you are actually continuously rotating even after you've grabbed the car keys. And if you're not careful, what can actually happen is you rotate into the floor during the cutscene and then you'll void out and then you have to reload the level. There's no enemies in this game, so it's normally impossible to die. So it's funny that the only way that you can physically die in this game is via the means of a glitch, which I find to be very funny. So we're gonna hit these two boxes with the tank, and then we're gonna go pick up our first, our second helicopter. But our first primary helicopter movement section, and this level is actually where like the run really starts to become pretty difficult in terms of movement. You'd think like a speed game like Stuart Little 3 would be, you know, kind of a meme, something that wouldn't be super duper tricky to optimize. But the helicopter is really fast and has the power of flight, but it makes grabbing ground-based flash orbs pretty tricky. So there's a lot of like ways that I have to manipulate my speed and manipulate my height in order for the game to actually register me as close enough to these flash orbs. And it actually takes a lot of practice to get good at manipulating the helicopter hitbox. So generally my strategy is to slow down, is to sort of speed up into the pickup I want to grab, and then kind of slow down into it, and then hit down. Also, parking the helicopter can sometimes be a nuisance, because again, the game really wants you to be on solid ground before it lets you park the vehicle, and sometimes you can just clip the rails of the helicopter landing rails through the ground. And that can be really obnoxious when you're trying to get out of your helicopter to take a photo or collect things or such. Also, I'm gonna warn you right now, every time I pop a balloon with the helicopter, it makes a very loud sound because it's playing a bunch of sound clips for collecting flash orbs at the same time. So, jump scare, I forgot to warn you for that one because I'm a bad I'm a bad runner. But you've been warned. Every balloon is a potential jump scare now that we have helicopter movement in this level. And so now, after getting basically 3 photo charges worth of flash orbs, we're pretty much going to redeem all 3 of them back to back with this photo with Mom or Mrs. Little. We'll then go and pick up the photo with Mr. Kirby. Oh, I want that flash orb set. Thank you. But yeah, if you see me miss a bunch of blue flash orbs, it's not really a huge deal because they don't really account for much camera charge. So now right here, I'm setting Stuart up in a specific spot where normally the arrow shot's done from third-person perspective over the shoulder. But if the camera can't find a proper place to path to Stuart from, the game will put you in the first-person mode, and that allows you to rotate the camera faster, which makes lining up the arrow shot a lot faster. So that's a little strat that I do right there. Now we can go take a photo of Mom right here after we have alerted her to our presence in the streets. This level is just called Streets, which I find is very funny.
Smile, Mom!
Okay, Stuart. Yeah, Mom, the mom of this game always sounds extremely enthused. We'll see her a couple of more times for various photos. The voice acting in this game is choice. Let me just put it that way. Alright, and then I'm immediately going to turn around and head into the vehicle garage right here because we're going to hop into a police cruiser because it's a little bit faster than the skateboard. Oh, this random NPC is going to ruin my day, huh? Okay. There we go. We need the police cruiser for the next stunt later anyway, so we just drive it up to Mr. Kirby so we can go take this photo. Smile, Mr. Kirby!
I can now. Thanks to you.
Yeah, so we hijacked a cop car, and we're going to use it to drive a stunt ramp off a stunt ramp into an active construction zone, so... Or more into a pothole than anything, but... The whole street's closed for construction, which is very convenient for 3D Collect-a-thon purposes. So my car is right here. I parked it a little bit strangely, so... it really doesn't like turning. And I also have to be very careful not to go too fast so I don't bump off the ramp the wrong way in advance. This should work though. Good. Cowabunga!
That's another
Sweet.
one done.
That's another one done. Alright, and then immediately after this, after we do the stunt, we're going to head to the garage and grab another helicopter. You can basically, if you can use if you can find a vehicle in the level, you can access it from one of these garages. I also parked the police cruiser in front of the garage to skip the animation of Stuart entering the garage, which saves about a second. Now, normally for all of these flash orbs that are located in the skate park, you're supposed to use your skateboard to gain height off of the ramps with extended jumps, but it's actually way faster to just fly a helicopter through here, as you might expect. So gonna reverse it here to get one more patch of flash orbs right here, and then park it right about here, and then I actually have to slow down as I park so I don't accidentally clip the helicopter into the floor, making it slower to park, believe it or not. Margalo? So here's Margalo. Margalo's gonna have us do like a skateboard competition type thing.
Do 9 tricks within the time limit.
But all the tricks are predetermined, so this is gonna be square on the ramp. And so I just have to get myself into position to do each trick. So this should be X and then circle.
Now press circle.
Hooray!
And then should be jump.
Next trick. Press X
Got it.
in the trick zone. Okay, next trick. Press circle
I hit the wrong button. Oopsie. Oh, it was fine. Oh, I missed input. Nice. Thanks, game. But yeah, the whole idea behind this section is you need to memorize the trick layout in advance so that you can get tricks going during some of these unskippable animations.
Next trick. Press triangle in the trick zone. Okay,
Next trick should be
press
X and then
now
triangle.
Press triangle.
I did it!
And we get on the grind rail.
Next trick. Press circle on a grind
And we're good to go. So this is all just pretty
Now for
straightforward.
your
So
final trick, Stuart.
Triangle?
Press
Yeah.
triangle on a ramp.
good to go. All right, that was pretty easy.
That was great!
Had one little slip up there, but we're all good. So after playing BMX with Margalo, she is going to get a hat down from a tree for another character, which will allow us to take his photo, which is the bellhop at this local hotel. Right here, though, trying not to get some gashes in the civilian with my helicopter blades. Gonna go for a really tough strat right here to park this helicopter on the suitcase. Perfect. That is way harder than it looks because you actually have to park the helicopter at a specific angle, because otherwise the tail blades can be in the way of the photo and make it invalid. So you have to re-park your helicopter. So that was actually really clean. You also want to have it turned in that direction because we are immediately headed the way that helicopter is facing at the moment. So it just all kind of adds up. But getting the park right there is a really tough strat. And it's actually a strat that takes a lot of practice. So gotta kind of whittle my way out of there, and then we'll go grab these flash orbs, park the helicopter, and then we'll go do another weasel chase down segment with Officer Mahoney. This one is a bit easier for the most part to execute than the previous weasel segment, but if it goes wrong in a way worse way.
Hi there, Officer Mahoney.
For lack of a better term. So I'm gonna concentrate. Again, you really don't want them to you really don't want to break their AI, because if you do, it'll end up just making things slower. I think I broke their AI. Where did they go? Oh, they fixed themselves. Okay, good. That's fine. So the weasels always follow a set path, and they try to juke you out, but they use the same juke out strats every time. So I know which way they're gonna try to juke me out from, so I can use that to my advantage to set up extra hits on their truck. So now we just kind of grind into the side of them here. Good, didn't get them stuck. You really want to avoid getting them stuck. That's where you start to lose a lot of time in these segments. Oh, I got juked. Normally, if I'm good, I usually have this segment done by now, but a bit of a rough start to the weasels because they got stuck on the wall. So there goes the weasels, and then we can go take this photo of Officer Mahoney. And then this last section is all just kind of tricky helicopter movement. So there's a lot of really big hitboxes that I have to avoid. So I'm gonna be kind of quiet here while I can actually focus on the movement. Again, it doesn't seem like it'd be all that hard, but because of how weird vehicles control in this game, especially the aerial vehicles, I kind of have to focus and concentrate to make sure I get the flash orbs I need for this last photo here. Yeah, see what I mean? Sometimes you go up and you go down, and then these garden bulkheads, for lack of a better term, with all the foliage on them, have really large and obtrusive hitboxes, so it can be really tricky to navigate. There we go. Make the turn. Probably just skip those little bits. And then we're going to grab the last of the flash orbs that we kind of skipped over during our initial trip here, and then there will be... oh, I missed those. Okay. Gimme. Good.
And should be 2 more right here. And with the extra little blue flash orbs, that should, I clipped it into the floor again. Good job, Stuart. And then we'll have our last photo here. And then we'll move on into the 4th level, which is the lake.
I did it!
I did it! But yeah, if y'all have any like questions for any like the strats in this game, or like
the photograph here, you've actually
any like if you see something weird, just let me know and I can try to answer to the best of my ability. This game's really strange. That was weird. Hopefully this doesn't cause a soft lock. I should be fine. Just don't mash triangle again. Oh my gosh.
This is the lake.
This is the lake. Alright, we should be good. It's usually that fade to white that causes problems. Why did they choose a mouse over a human child at the orphanage? Probably a tax write-off. Anywho, so we're gonna immediately hop onto our skateboard here, and we're gonna go straight to the garage over here to pick up 2 vehicles. The first thing I'm gonna be doing is picking up the helicopter, but I'm not gonna be using it right away. And the helicopter just happens to be the first selectable item in the menu. And if we get it now, we can just have access to it later. Do I believe that Stuart is a magic user? No, Stuart's not that smart. Alright, so we're going to use the turret on here to break all of these boxes. And that's going to give us a ton of flash orbs for our routing. And hit this balloon right here. The balloon shot we do last, because for the targets that are supposed to be used with the cannon, which are those big boxes, the game has like a really obnoxious lock-on feature that takes forever to like finish the lock-on animation, but the balloon doesn't have a lock-on animation, so we end with the balloon so we don't have to be stuck in a lock-on animation for a bit. And now this is all really tricky helicopter movement here. I'm trying to keep the helicopter low to the ground so that I don't have to like make it go up and down as much. Balloon jump scare. I'm gonna do a bit of a backup strat, good save. And then we're gonna go do this boat race with Julian. This is probably the worst vehicle section that you're gonna see in the whole run. It's, this boat controls absolutely horribly. Because it, as you can already see, just at a standstill, it likes to bounce. And it makes it really hard to control. So I'm just gonna do light taps on the D-pad to try to control this. And then take these little intended shortcuts, not just because they're faster, but it keeps me away from the AI opponents. The AI in this game always sort of follows on a set path, and so as a result, you kind of need, like, as long as you do the same things every time, you'll always win the race and get a good time. And they kind of just do their own thing. But if you're not careful, they can crash into you depending on movement changes that you make, so you gotta be really careful. Also, now I can honk the horn and cause infinite suffering. Huzzah. Yeah, this is always a section that I honk through because I hate controlling this boat.
Who was that masked man?
Yeah, you can just hold down the circle button and annoy the heck of whoever is watching your current run. It's great. What a great mechanic. Yeah, we're just kind of chilling out here on the boat race, listening to some chill vibes. Don't really have too much to say on this boat race, unfortunately. It's just very straightforward. There would be a lot more to say if I were screwing it up, because when this level goes wrong, it goes spectacularly wrong, but I've actually managed to somehow concentrate while talking, which is good for me. Lightly tap through the turn there. All right, that was actually a really good boat race. Sick. So yeah, Julian is a really big jerk, so we have to beat him we have to challenge him to a boat race in order for him to take another photo with him. And to a degree, I understand it, because like we already took this photo earlier, and I was kind of pissed that we have to take another one.
Why?
Listen to him.
You're gonna be standing next to me.
What a jerk.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
You're gonna be standing next to me. What a dweeb. Oh, that was a gold boat race too. Let's go, me.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Alright, so now that we have this photo, I can immediately hop back into my helicopter, and another balloon jump scare warning, because this one's pretty, the balloons in this level are pretty loud. Here it is. I don't know why it's mixed so like loudly. It's so strange. Yeah, right here you're supposed to like grab all these flash orbs from platforming, but using a helicopter is way faster than 3D platforming. And then we're gonna go grab a couple of flash orbs, park the helicopter. That was a really solid park. Margalo? And then we're gonna do a BMX bike challenge with Margalo here. Shh. The best part about skipping cutscenes optimally in this game is it just sounds like Stuart is shushing whatever character he's talking to. So this is a really straightforward challenge, except we kind of just go along a set path. However, because we try to get to a finish line as fast as possible, as opposed to just hitting all the tricks within the time limit, we only have to do a minimum of 8 tricks. So I'm actually going to be skipping 2 of the ramps later on, because whenever you jump off one of these ramps, it puts in a really long slow-mo animation, as you'll see right here.
Now press circle.
Done it!
Shouts to these really baller BMX bike tricks.
Press X on a ramp. Now press triangle.
Done it!
Done it!
Press square in the trick zone.
Yeah, I'll skip this ramp right here, so you can just scoot right on by and it's totally fine. Yeah, a lot of people have been like wondering, like, is this like actually a bad game? I don't think it's like actually like a awful game or anything. It's just janky, it's bizarre, it's Stuart Little. And I knew I had to submit this too because people really seem to enjoy the Stuart Little 2 run. I actually grew up with Stuart Little 2 and not this game. But I learned about this game's existence because it was made by the same people who made that game, which I happen to speedrun as well for some godforsaken reason. So that's kind of how I ended up running this game, I guess. Anyway, we're going to take this quad bike, and this is mostly a vehicle movement section for flash orbs, but I'm going to be quiet because the music track in this level is such a jam for no good reason, so I'm going to let you all enjoy it. What a banger. What a vibe. Good movement, nice. So you kind of have to, the flash orbs there are actually in pretty tricky spots, so you kind of have to learn to manage your brake pedal a little bit there in order to get optimal movement through there. Then we're gonna go take a photo of Martha and Mom, but mostly Martha.
Hi, Mom.
Editor's note, please never name your child Martha. That's just cruel and unusual punishment for being born.
Hi, Stuart.
And that was a gold as well. Yeah, that was really sick movement. Sometimes you just gotta vibe to the music in order to get that optimal gameplay going. All right, so now after we've gone through and gotten all the things in here, we can kind of backtrack with the quad. That was an interesting animation. So unfortunately, no more of the really rad music because we're gonna be leaving this sub area. But now we get to make our way through here with this quad bike and basically double back on ground, getting all the flash orbs that we missed on the way through here with the helicopter. And this part's pretty precarious. It can be kind of easy to fall off or miss a flash orb, so I'm going to be a little quiet here. Oh, I just talked over it anyway. I'm sick. But yeah, I'm making the vehicles look way more controllable than they actually are. Nice, and we got the park into the garage too. I wouldn't be shocked if this... Oh, nope, nice, nice. So, triangle button is the same button for selecting your toolkit of costumes as well as get on vehicle. So, I just magnetized over to the quad bike again, so that was unfortunate. Okay. Here we go. That fence has a really big hitbox, so if you're really sick, you can narrowly get a kickflip out of that. And then I got first-person camera, which means that my camera movement to the photo location was better. And there we go. Aha! Ouch! Ouch! Yeah, the music in this level is just pretty chill. But yeah, the lake is by far the longest level in the run. It's just a very spread out level. These bigger levels are actually really fun to explore casually. But this is by far the level that like takes the longest, just because a lot of the photos require doing like these vehicle races, which are fun and all, but you know, they require some time to get the flash orbs for. And we're going to be making our way to this island here and trying to get on land as soon as possible, because the skateboard actually moves a little bit faster than the parasail. And then right here, get in and out of the skateboard right there in order to optimize my turns. And then we can make our way to this garage here and pick up another hovercraft. The hovercraft, whenever we're in some of these water segments, is just the most efficient because it lets us seamlessly transition water to air, or water to land. Even though some of the other like water-based vehicles might have a faster top speed, they're not worth it because you really can't take them on the land. Now right here, gonna do a bit of a tricky turn, kind of come to a halt a little bit so that I can sort of drift into those flash orbs right there, and then a little bit tricky to park here. There we go. And we make our way into the garage, and we're gonna grab I can't remember which one. This one. Okay, yeah. Grab this roadster, and then we have to drive it off a ramp and into some water for the stunt. Okay, good. The stunt counted. I almost fell off the ramp in a bad way, and I would have had to make my way all the way back up.
That's another one done.
That's another one done.
Yeah, so doing this is going to crash our roadster, unfortunately, but this also happens to put us pretty close by to another garage, so I just instantly cancel into parasail. Cancel my skateboard early because you actually can't interact with things if you're airborne. So in order to avoid just bouncing into the stratosphere while on my skateboard, I cancel out of it early so that I preserve some of my... I cut some of my momentum off so that I can move a little bit faster into that transition. Now right here, this is a door that Margalo opened for us by doing her BMX challenge. And so we park the hovercraft in the door, and the reason we do that is actually pretty important. Snowbell, if you interact with him, will allow you to do all sorts of various things, such as like warp between the different levels, turn in different collectibles to unlock new areas, stuff like that. And he always tries to be nearby. And there's a couple of set locations that he'll like scoot his way over to. And most of those times those are in the way. But if you park the hovercraft where I just did, it actually prevents him from pathing to that location. So I can actually just get straight into the hovercraft and take it on my next adventure. You can kind of see he's not quite in the spot he wants to be. That lets me just scoot right out of the way and avoid some slow movement. And then we'll go ahead and grab this helicopter here one more time. This will be the last time we see the helicopter, unfortunately, because we'll be going indoors for the next level after this. But we're going to use it to grab these flash orbs on the bench, turning around, and then we're going to go do this race with RC. So this will be the jet ski race. Am I going to have enough? This will be tight. That should be good. Yeah, okay. Played it a little bit loose with some of the blue flash orb management there, but we got it pretty cleanly. That's pretty good. Yeah, what a nice boat. Someone asked if you can spawn boats on land. Not that I know of. Specific garages will only allow you to have specific vehicles that can be used in their locations. So if it's like a garage like that's by a lake, it'll let you get on a water vehicle, but it'll put you into the water. So this jet ski race actually has some tech to it. Obviously you don't want to bounce off walls like I just did, but we're going to be going pretty fast on this by making wide turns by tapping left or right on the D-pad. And so when you turn, you start bouncing up and down off the water, which puts you in an airborne state, which has a slower speed than your water-based speed. So by tapping in each direction, it keeps me grounded for longer, or aquatic for longer, which makes my turns faster. So you can see instead of like slowing all the way down to like 62, I keep an average speed of like 66, 67, and sometimes even 69 during the turns.
It's not over yet, Stuart.
Yeah, this mouse is going pretty fast. This is definitely safe. Oh, and we have a really annoying horn for this one as well. You're welcome.
And the apprentice excels the master.
I'm just gonna keep doing it just because it's funny. I'm sorry. You can't stop me.
And the apprentice excels the master.
This one might actually be the worst. It's up there.
Great!
Alright, so we do the race with RC, and that's going to be our last photo for this level. Now, it might be looking like it's coming down pretty close to the wire, but the last level was actually really condensed and pretty short. So we're coming pretty close to the end of the run here.
Hey, RC!
Hey, RC!
This picture cannot be complete without
Alright, I'm interested to see what my split time was for this.
I'm coming.
I think this will be even with PV. So despite losing 7 minutes to soft-locking the game after the first level, this run is actually turning out to be pretty good. Shoutouts to resetting during the marathon run.
somewhere else.
Oh wait, that's right, I was pretending like that didn't happen. But now finally, we're going to be heading indoors to the little family home for the final level here. And this level is pretty much all skateboarding movement, so there's a lot of like really tight strats and stuff that I'm going to be going for here.
Which one shall I?
So something I didn't really discuss yet with the skateboard movement is the idea of a wall bump or a wall bounce. And essentially, when you hit a wall, it can either just completely kill your speed, or if you hit it at kind of an angle, it'll just redirect your speed into a different angle. And so we're going to be using a lot of those kind of wall bumps in order to. I'll have to back that up. I know what the backup is for that. Okay. So we're going to be using a lot of those wall bumps in order to redirect our speed, so we can get good momentum through here. Alright, so a bit of a tricky strat here. Okay, we got over the sink. That sink is evil, so I'm glad it didn't heck me too much. Alright, grab all of these flash orbs, and then we're going to take this... Oh, not the spring. I said the cannon. Thank you. And so, this is a mechanic we didn't really see in any of the previous levels because it's usually slow. But we're going to be grabbing 6 of what are called cat snacks. Now, if you remember the Stuart Little 2 run, you'll remember that there were like 80 of those cat biscuits per level. In this game, there are 6 hidden throughout each level. And if you get all 6, you can return them to Snowbell and feed Snowbell, and Snowbell will be like, alright, I'll help you out. And then Snowbell will unlock access to a new area, which usually rewards you with at least a photo, if not some more flash orbs to collect. And so, because 2 of the photos in this level are actually,
Cat snack for Snowbell.
maybe even 3 photos, I can't remember off the top of my head. But since a good chunk of the photos in this level are actually locked behind that, it's actually faster to grab all the cat snacks in this level. So do a kickflip over that. And then it's going to be a flurry of photos all back to back here. So 4. Do a skateboard right there to cancel the fall animation. Hold down and to the left or to the right, and then we take a photo of the mask here. Nice.
That was great.
The music in here is also a jam as well. Very cozy. Got those synths going. Just gonna make my way down here. This is one of my favorite strats. I kickflip over here, wall bounce, kickflip over the spring, wall bounce, and then you're down here. It's a really fun little skateboarding strat. Nice, and I got good speed through there. So, like, maintaining good speed through, like, some of these skateboarding sections is actually a lot trickier than it looks because of just, like, the way that the skateboard handles. So it's kind of cool to be able to, like, not completely screw up those strats, I guess.
Woohoo!
So, with every photo, we got to make sure we have good lighting, so we hit that light switch so we can take a picture of that really low-res JPEG to add to our photo album. Taking a photo with a old school camera of a really low-res JPEG animated, or graphic, I don't know. There was a JPEG joke in there somewhere, I'm sorry. I just wanted an excuse to make fun of JPEGs because PNGs are the significantly better file format. Ooh, that was gold. Alright, sick.
I did it!
I didn't forget anything, did it? No, that was just good. Okay, sick. So yeah, it's a bunch of really quick photos all back to back because there's no vehicle portions in here. There's a stunt photo in this level, but it actually ends up being slow. So right here, gonna skateboard off here, and then we're gonna go grab a blimp. Now, normally, you're supposed to get this next cat snack by going into like this hidden vent. But it's much faster to use this blimp to grab it. But getting your blimp wedged in here enough to actually grab it is a bit of a struggle in and of itself. I might be a little under flashed orbed here. Balloon jump scares. It's pretty loud. So we just take the blimp the rest of the way up because it lets us instantly pop all these balloons. Because it has like a little thing that pops things, like a little spike on the front side of it. So we go ahead and yeah, I'm getting the blimp stuck on the golf course. Oh, game actually let me park that. Nice. Thank you, game. Go ahead and grab this cat snack right here. Wall bounce, and then we make our way down to the fish tank for our next photo here. So yeah, shout outs to the fact that the Little family basically has a 3-story house in New York City. I don't know how they managed that in 2005, but whatever. Nice. All right, 3 more photos to go, and then we're done with the run. So this has been quite the adventure. It's been quite the big photo adventure for sure. I appreciate you all for being patient with me with some of the stuff that happened at the beginning here. But this is all going to be pretty fast back-to-back movement through the end here. I'm going to take this conveniently placed skateboard rail all the way up here. Oh, this song's a jam. I forgot about this one. Get these orbs right here, and then wall bounce, and then immediately cancel the skateboard into the spring. Again, you cannot use a spring pad if you're on your skateboard. You will just kind of deflect off of it. So we gotta fill up the bathtub so that the rubber ducks are in the right position to be able to take the photo. But before we take that photo, we're gonna be grabbing a bunch of stuff along the way here. Oh, interesting. Interesting animation, Stuart. Jump off of here as early as possible. Wall bounce into the cool gamer platforming segment. Cancel the landing lag with the skateboard animation, and then we just grab the last of the flash orbs here. And then I can do a wall bounce into the photo, into the rubber ducks. That was really good. Yeah, that was a 3-second gold. So I did a little bit of a new strat where I angled Stuart going into that photo so that the zoom into first person animation was a little bit faster. It doesn't seem like much, but things like that add up over the course of the run. Okay, I'm gonna go for a sick jump over this golf course right here in order to get a little bit of faster movement. Nice camera.
Crashed any planes lately?
Wow, Snowball rude. All right, I'm gonna go for a really risky strat, but it looks cool, so I'm gonna go for it. Got it, nice. So if you screw that up, you fall all the way back down to the bottom of the toilet, but that lets you kick flip over that, and it's a little bit faster movement. So now for this photo of this miniature boat, we need to have like the sails flapping, so we open up this window to create accurate wind effects. And then we can go ahead and take the zip line to get over to the photo location. Yeah, this photo and one more, and the run is over pretty much. We're coming in at a pretty good time here. Aha! Aha! Ouch! All right, so we got one more photo to go. We've got one more cat snack to go. So we're gonna make our way into this sort of hidden area down here. It's interesting to note that there is a theoretical way to get to the outdoor terrace area without all of these cat snacks by performing another skew glitch. But it's really hard, and we're not actually sure if it saves time or not. So it's not really used in runs at the moment, but it's definitely a really interesting strat, excuse me. I got cat snacks on the mind.
Let's go.
But yeah, you can basically clip through a floor, so you can clip into the garden area over there. But if you screw it up, it can be really bad because you just fall down to the first floor. All right, but we just got a couple more flash orbs to pick up with our skateboarding movement, and that'll be the end of the run. So time's not gonna be quite yet. It'll be once we see the camera flash for the final photo. That's when the final photo is registered. Just got a couple more flash orbs in this area back here, and I'm a little bit short. Nope, I'm not short. Okay, I overcollected. That's fine. All right, and here's the last photo with Mom. So we'll get ready on time.
Smile, Mom.
Hey, aren't you in this one too?
Yeah.
Mom's beautiful face in here. All right, get ready on time. And time. All right, 57:06. That is 25 seconds off my PD, if you don't count the previous attempt. So, I apologize for that, but I'm glad I still got to show off a pretty good example run.
That's the final picture you needed. Oh, good.
But yeah, that was Stuart Little 3 Big Photo Adventure for the Sony PlayStation 2.
Wow, Stuart.
This is a great cutscene. George's voice acting is just a thing that exists, but we completed the project. We thought we were gonna fail for sure.
Stuart, you're the best little brother in the
But we are the best little brother
That's
ever.
okay, George. Anything for my big bro.
Yeah!
Okay.
So yeah, that's the end of the run. Shoutouts to the Stuart Little 3 community. Shoutouts to Big Bad Game-a-thon for generously allowing me to squeeze in between the CDI block this afternoon. That's pretty much it for me. I don't really have too much to shout out other than the other people who still run this game. Y'all rock. But yeah, if you want to watch more Stuart 3, I guess, my Twitch stream is twitch.tv/Jaxler1. Oh, and I'll be running on Sunday. I have another run in this event, a little earlier in the afternoon. I'll be running Rabbids Go Home, which is a really stinking sick game. So, all right, that's it for me. I'm gonna let the host take it over to the next run. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for watching.
Come on, Stuart.
Hold on, coming through.